And hello, welcome everyone to this video of OpenMC. And in this video, we just want to continue where we left off. Last time we were talking about using tallies to get a flux spectrum, right? Remember we are talking about flux spectrum here, so we have a flux spectrum tally. Okay, so now today, we know that at least for our reactor, we are not going to operate it, say, at room temperature, because the cross sections you're seeing here are all taken about at 294 Kelvin, which is about room temperature. Okay, about 20 odd degrees C. Or let me check the calculator. 294 minus 273, 21 degrees C. Okay, relatively cool California Bay Area weather. You know. So how are we supposed to incorporate Doppler broadening into OpenMC? Okay, so there are some tutorial files. Okay, but basically the way you set the Doppler broadening is that you set the temperature of the cells to be some value. Okay, and of course there are some caveats to that, but basically you would put it over here, okay, in your geometry file. Okay, for example, here I'm just adding some comments, and this is the completed file. Of course, this is a completed file, but this one's just to show Doppler broadening, and these are the only 2 lines of code you need to add. Now, the thing about Doppler broadening, okay, cross sections are usually given at about 294 Kelvin, then 300 Kelvin, 600 Kelvin, 900 Kelvin, 1200 Kelvin. They will be in this regular 300 Kelvin intervals. Anything in between, it is not usually given, and there's some extra work you need to do in order to get the temperatures there. So the way you do it is to set the temperature of the cell. For example, fuel cell dot temperature equals your temperature in Kelvin. Reflector cell dot temperature equals your temperature in Kelvin. Now 900 is about the closest temperature you will get here. Okay, because you see 900 minus 273, that will give you about 627 degrees C, which is the operating temperature, typical operating temperature of a FHR. So this is actually pretty reasonable. Okay, so you have a temperature around here and you want to achieve criticality. That's the track you want to go for. Okay, so this thing, we'll try to get this done. Okay, I'm going to clear this. I'm going to restart and clear output, and I'm going to try running all of it, and you'll see that you run into a problem very quickly. Okay, yeah, look at this one. Okay, command OpenMC, return non-zero exit status at 255. Why is that going on? Okay, basically there is a problem. Okay, there's a problem. One of your cross-section data is not actually available at this temperature. So what cross-section data is it? Okay, I mean, it's not very obvious over here, but basically your cross-section data which is not available is this SLS graphite dot at S alpha beta. Alright, this graphite at S alpha beta is not available at 900 degrees Kelvin. Okay, so to test it, so we will just change the materials XML file to exclude this line here. Of course, there will be some discrepancy in data, and of course there's a way to actually get this at S alpha beta at 900 degrees Kelvin. Okay, so that's you know, what we'll need to do. But at least to get this file running, this is what we need to do. Okay, so I'm going to export this to XML again, and let's try running OpenMC one more time. Okay, so I've changed the materials XML file. I'm going to run OpenMC again. Alright, oh, our settings XML file is all gone because there was this clean script here. Alright, restart and clear all. And let's run the output. And now OpenMC should be able to work. Alright, should be able to work. See? So now your K effective is again around 0.46, but this actually shows you that you see your K effective has dropped a bit. Of course, your S alpha beta is going to be important, but if you know our flux spectrum, you see our flux spectrum from before. Our flux spectrum from before, most of the flux is in the fast zone anyhow. So this S alpha beta may not be as important, okay? But as your thermal region kind of grows, your flux in the thermal region, as you get more and more moderated, your flux in your thermal region is going to grow, and that's going to cause some problem. Okay, that means your S alpha beta becomes more and more significant because the chemical bonding within the structure is going to affect the energy of low energy neutrons, or how they scatter, you see. So let's write room temp about 294K. If you check the OpenMC website, that's your default temperature. Okay, so yeah, let's take a look at the flux spectrum CSV file. Okay, this new flux spectrum CSV file, it's over here, and again we are going to have a new set of values right here. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste all of this over into my flux spectrum ODS. Alright, so flux spec 900K. Okay, hand wavy. Why did I call it hand wavy? Because our S alpha beta isn't configured properly. So we'll need to do something in order to fix that. But that's another topic for another video. Okay, so let's copy and paste. First our average energy and then the flux. Okay, the flux is over here. So the formulas are here. The average energy is the average of these two numbers, and the flux is this mean. So let's see what changes in our spectrum. All right, let's see what changes. Okay, I'm going to insert another chart. I'm going to give a scatter plot, lines only, blah blah blah, and what's this? Flux spectrum 900K, no add S alpha beta for graphite. Okay, maybe I'll put this in the subtitle. Yeah, no add S alpha beta for graphite. X-axis will be energy in EV. Y-axis will be, what's the y-axis? Flux distribution. Alright, so let's finish this and let's change this to a log scale so you can see what changes. Alright, so you see that it's a bit hard to see if they are not like superimposed one on top of the other. So let me just copy and paste this data over. It is the 900 Kelvin flux. Alright. Okay, so let me copy and paste the flux data. Paste the values. Alright, so let's see the chart. Okay, data ranges. Let's give a new data range. Okay. It's a very manual way of doing it, but if it works, it works, yeah? Okay, so data series, flux and 900K flux. So okay, you take a look at here. There will be, as you see, there's a little bit of difference. Your peaks are all somewhat different. The degree of moderation is still roughly the same. Okay, for more intents and purposes, it does look very, very similar. But of course, you'll see a little bit of difference here and there. Sometimes the peaks are, you see the peaks at the top are that little bit lower, and higher in some other places. So most of the difference will be in the resonance region, and of course over here as well. If you want to take note more of the, and it's better to also look at the flux I mean the reaction rates, the overall reaction rates of fission, of absorption, blah blah blah. All right, that will help to help you to see what effect this is having. But the most important effect that we see is that K effective actually, this is not the one. K effective actually drops pretty significantly when you change. Last time we were going around 0.48. Now it's it's dropped by almost by 1%, like 0.47 now. You can see the reactivity actually drops a fair bit. Okay, and as you keep increasing the temperature, it's going to drop some more. So let me demonstrate again. See whether we have something at 1200. Okay, and then we'll just run this whole thing again. Kernel restart and run on. So the K effective will drop some more. I should be taking note of the K effective, but I think I'm forgetting to. Okay, but it was 0.48 at about room temperature, give or take. Yeah. Now it's gone down to 0.469. Right. So you see, increasing your temperature does drop the whole thing. But why is it dropping or not dropping as much? Okay, this you can notice that the changes in reactivity or changes in K effective are not as significant as you would have expected. Reason being, most of your spectrum is in the fast spectrum. All your spectrum is in the fast spectrum. And where's your resonance region? Okay? U238 N gamma. Okay. Let's see whether we have some cross sections here. I can just pick it off. Oh, all right. NNDC BNL. All right. Let's go NNDC BNL, and we'll look for databases, or maybe NDEF. Yeah, NDEF. Let's put 238U. Okay. N what? N gamma. NG. Yeah. And we'll submit. Let's plot this one, the first one that comes up. Yeah, you see your stuff is at 10 to the minus 5, 10 to the minus 6, 10 to the minus 7, and 10 to the minus 8. Oh wait, 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. Okay, so let's see, 10 to the minus 5 all the way to 10 to the minus 1 equal 10 1e minus 5 equals 1e minus 1. Okay, how many MeV? Let's change it to EVs. Equals this times 1e6 equals this times 1e6. Alright, so this is about 10 EV to 100,000 EVs. So let's look at our flux spectrum. Okay, this is a CSV file. I don't want to play around with this. Okay, so what's the flux spectrum? Okay, this is the resonance region. The resonance region is somewhere here. Okay, 10 EV here, 10 EV somewhere here, all the way up to 100,000, which is somewhere around here. You notice that most of the flux is in the fast region, so you won't have the effect when when moderation occurs. You go from the fast region to the slow region, and then you have this Doppler broadening effect, as that when neutrons are being moderated from the fast to the slow region, you don't have as much. I mean, when neutrons go from the fast to the slow region, then you'll have this Doppler broadening effect become more pronounced. Now you'll see it slightly pronounced, but you can see for fast reactor, this Doppler broadening it's not happening. So you have to actually see this effect, you have to add some moderation first. Okay, but it's interesting to take a look to see what's happening, what's going on with the flux spectrum anyhow. Okay, so anyway, so that's it for the basic the most basic of Doppler broadenings. Okay, the most basic for Doppler broadening is like so, what you see here. Okay, so that's it. That's all I have for you for now. I will stop and then I'll continue on in the next video. And maybe we should increase our reflection and moderation in order to see how the flux spectrum changes. Okay. Anyway, so that's all. Thanks for watching. See you again. Bye.